What's going on? I am DJ HazMatt.
Yeah, and I'm Matty Willz.
Yes, sir. Welcome to Matt and Matt Sports. Because, we here every week, once a week, to talk to you about what's been going on in sports, mainly from a Cleveland perspective, but we talk about all sports, right? Right.
Absolutely. Don't have much representation going on in the big dance, the March Madness NCAA tournament going on as we speak, but we do have a professional basketball team that's playing games right now. As always, though, we encourage you to drop those comments. We'll read as many of those as we can. And like Ozzy, who just said, what's good with you? Thank you for tuning
Ozzy?
in to
Mystery
Matt
Todd.
Sports.
Mystery Todd is back.
But we start with a little breaking news, right?
Yes, we do. We talk about this Andre Drummond situation that we've been waiting to see, like, what is going on with that. They basically deactivated him for the rest of the season because they were going to trade him.
Right.
But then Andre Drummond buys out his contract. That's a common thing that's going on right now. So Andre Drummond bought out his contract with the Cavs, making him be able to be free to sign with whoever he wanted to. And then he signs with who, Matty Willz?
He signed with the LA Lakers. The Los Angeles Lakers have acquired another center. We all know Anthony Davis has been down for quite some time. LeBron James is now down as well for probably at least another month. So Andre Drummond provides some depth. He provides some front court presence. He's still one of the best rebounders in the NBA, as he proved with the Cavs while they did allow him to play. But I think Andre Drummond, he's going to allow them to win probably a couple of more games that they wouldn't have won while, as they just beat the Cavs, while they wait for their superstars to return. But he'll also give them a much-needed element for the playoffs. I mean, look, we all know that your traditional center in the NBA is not really that much of a thing anymore. But Joel Embiid, who was an MVP candidate before he went out, does prove that you can still use a center, and Andre Drummond is definitely a quality center. So
what do you think this really does for the Lakers? I mean, the Lakers are in trouble. Obviously, they're kind of sliding without their two superstars. Because I mean, if Anthony Davis doesn't return, and this is like, I know it's not the same injury, but it's like that plantar fasciitis type of situation where it's like,
is that the medical pronunciation?
I don't know, but I do know that a lot of guys that are 7 feet tall are stricken with these type of lower leg injuries that they seem to never quite be able to recover from. So we'll have to watch that closely. I mean,
for sure.
And without Anthony Davis, I don't know if 37, 38-year-old LeBron can take the Lakers back to the promised land by himself. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they lost some key players that are on other teams now that are going to help these other teams. So we'll get into what happened on the trade deadline. But yes, I guess. I mean, I don't know. It doesn't excite me that Andre Drummond is
so kind of like much to do about nothing is what you say. Drummond going to the Lakers. I think. I mean, I'm not.
He's better than Harrell.
He is, and I would say this: like, he's not there to save the day, but I think that he's a very necessary piece if the Lakers do have aspirations of repeating as NBA champions. If you look at the Brooklyn Nets over on the other side, no, they haven't won anything as a franchise lately. They're not defending champions, but they have added a lot of pieces over there, at least a lot of high-profile names at the bare minimum. So I don't know. You look at Brooklyn, you got to kind of envision if that team does get Kevin Durant back healthy, when you talk about, being a little bit worried about Anthony Davis's injury, we can also speculate about KD. He's been out a lot as well, and he's coming back from a very significant injury as well. So I don't know, man. I think when you look at what Brooklyn has been doing in terms of adding Blake Griffin and LaMarcus Aldridge, and then you look at the Lakers, obviously with the injuries right now, they're not going to win a lot of games. But for the playoff push, they're going to need some added depth, and I think that Andre Drummond will fit that tremendously. And I'm happy to see him, just end up on a team that has a chance to win a championship. He did come here to Cleveland and was, for all intents and purposes, at least publicly, it looked like he was excited to be here. And we don't always get that from players that are very good. So shout out to Andre Drummond.
So now because he's excited, now because he was excited to be in Cleveland, you wish him well. with the
Yes,
Lakers.
that bad.
I mean, he played for Cleveland for all of a hot minute. I
Well,
mean,
yeah, but he enjoyed being
so
here. He repped it on his
he
Instagram.
endeared
I appreciated that.
Andre Drummond. He has endeared himself to you in his
Yes,
short stint here as a
yes.
Cleveland Cavalier.
I'm invested in the rest of his
Now
career.
you're an
Yes.
Andre Drummond fan because he donned the Cleveland Cavalier uniform when we sucked.
Pretty much. I mean, he was a highlight amongst, a team that didn't really have a lot of
So,
highlights. I mean, I will
so do
say,
you have a Darius Miles jersey, sir? I
no.
mean,
Listen, I'm not going to get an Andre Drummond jersey either. I do have an Odell Beckham Jr. jersey though, but
of course,
that's my guy.
he still plays for us, so we'll
Yes.
see. He just tore his own knee up. What can you do about that?
He's coming back. He's good to go.
Well,
He's
this
good
is
to
not
go.
a Browns conversation. This is a Cavs NBA conversation. And speaking of the Cavaliers, we sit in 12th place, a firm 4 to 5 games out of the 8th spot here in the East. Do you think we have a chance to make a run at either the Pacers or the Heat there?
I think we have a chance. If you're asking me if I think it's actually going to happen, then I'm gonna say no. I mean, the Cavs, they've lost 2 out of their
They're
last
up and
3.
down.
They're up and down. They got Utah tomorrow. I mean, we can't really beat any good teams. We can barely beat like
Well,
mediocre teams.
Wait.
So I
Stop.
really don't.
Just stop.
What's that?
Stop. Don't even continue that synopsis that you're coming with. When you start with, we can't beat good teams, it's a
can't.
wrap. When you
Well,
say
yeah.
that, there's no reason for me to even have hope that anything's going to happen. If we can't beat a good team, like you say, then there's no reason for me to believe that the Cavs should even try and make a run for these playoffs. They need to try and make a run for that lottery pick. Sir, do you agree?
Yeah, but you can't publicly take that stance as a franchise. You can't say to your fans, hey, we're not going to try to win any games. We're just going to coast on into the offseason
man.
and
We know
hopefully
what
we get
it
a
is.
high draft pick.
We know what it is, man.
We know what it is. We do.
We know
That's
what
fair.
it is. I mean, the Cavs, they beat the Bulls. I'm just looking at their week. They
They had a rough week.
lost
They're
to
out
the Kings.
west.
They beat the Bulls. We
Yeah.
lost to the Lakers. We lost to the Kings.
Got the Jazz tomorrow, the NBA's best team in the league right now. So,
We
rough
got
stretch.
beat by a buzzer beater.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
that's the way the season is going for us. Even when we right there with a chance, then somebody just throws the dagger in right as the time ticks down to 0. Just
Before
to
we move
remind
on,
us.
I will say that Darius Garland, I've been impressed. He's been playing better lately. I also like Larry Nance Jr., and I'm glad that we didn't move him. He was involved in a couple of different trade rumors right around the deadline. I like Larry Nance Jr. Wasn't a huge Darius Garland fan before the season started, but lately, over these past few weeks or so, he's getting me to come on a little bit. But, I mean, at the end of the day, we need more pieces. We need more pieces.
We definitely need more pieces.
For
And
sure.
I just traveled back.
Corey's got a question for us, too.
Yeah, Corey, we're gonna get to Corey's question in just a second. I just traveled back from the A, and my Uber driver back to the airport apparently was well into sports because I had to sit in the front seat, wife and kids in the back. So he starts talking sports, and he's like really into basketball. And that was his opinion in the drive up to the airport, is that he thought that the Cavaliers just needed like a piece on the front line. And then my opinion was that I don't think it would matter because in the NBA, if you don't have superstars on your team, that's the reason why the Brooklyn Nets are getting every name, putting it on this one team to try and get that Lombardi trophy. I'm sorry, Larry O'Brien trophy. Excuse me. So they could get a good piece out of college. Would it matter? What would it improve us to? Will we be able to compete with the Brooklyn Nets as they are assembled right now? The Avengers of the East. That means no. I'll take that as a no.
For the sake of the argument that you're saying, I understand what you're saying, but there are times where you can just assemble, a group of talent and make some noise. I don't
Yeah,
know
in the
how many
Marvel
of the guys.
universe, or
I
Zack
don't know.
Snyder's Justice League. Did you
I don't
watch that
know.
movie, The Justice League? This is
Bro,
way
I'm gonna
off.
just keep it
And
real with
Corey
you.
was talking,
I fell asleep in the first 20 minutes of it. I
dude. The
can't.
first
I'm
20 minutes,
too busy to watch movies.
that
I
you
can't. I
didn't
don't know.
watch it at all, because that movie is 4 hours long,
No,
and
I
I'm not
know. I
even
know.
exaggerating. It is a 4 hour
Yeah,
movie.
that's
Who has heard of
ridiculous.
such? Who has
That's
heard of
ridiculous.
such? I used to work at Blockbuster Video. That would be a 2 VHS
What did I
tape
do?
thing.
Why
You
is
know what I'm
Mystery
saying?
Todd come on Matty and me? What did I do now?
Don't
What
worry.
did I
Let's get
do?
to Corey asking, what does Kevin Love offer to the Cavs? I'll tell you what Kevin Love offers the Cavs. Since we brought up Kevin Love, Corey Brooks, I'll tell you what, he offers us no trade value. He offers us a name who's going to permanently be a skeleton of himself. He's never been what he was when he was in Minnesota. He does not have it anymore, and his body breaks down on him too often. You know what I'm saying? That's why we call him tender love, love so tender.
So I Googled Kevin Love's name just to see what he does have to offer us, right? And the first three things that pop up is he's sharing his Tribeca apartment with his girlfriend. He's talking about what him and his girlfriend eat on some vegan
Tribeca.
show. And he's, I don't know, a whole bunch of stuff that has nothing to do with basketball or the Cavaliers. So I think at this point, Kevin Love should probably
Retire.
just consider retiring. I mean, honestly, you can't trade him. He's making a coin that, hey, look, get your money. Nobody can blame him for getting his money. But, I mean, you cannot do anything for the Cavaliers except for be, I don't know, not really a distraction, but you're not really helping the cause. So I don't know. I like Kevin Love personally, but as a basketball player, I think that he might want to move on.
Where are we in the East? We
I
said
don't know. I
at
think
what?
you said 12th place.
We're 12th place.
Yeah.
Yeah. So to ask, what does Kevin Love seem to offer the Cavs at this point? Nothing. That's what he offers the Cavs. Nothing. Now let's move on to what is Mystery Todd? You had a beef with Mystery Todd?
No, I
Happening?
didn't have a beef with him. He has a beef with me.
You were questioning what was going on. Mystery Todd, explain yourself.
Oh,
Why
it
you
may
coming?
be because I didn't see the movie. I know I didn't see the Coming to America movie. I haven't really been watching.
You didn't watch that? You still haven't watched that yet?
Not yet. I
Oh,
was gonna get to it. I was gonna get to it. I was gonna get to it this weekend. This is a sports show though, so we can just.
Yeah. Well, come on, man. It's for the culture, man. You gotta.
Everybody told me it was trash. So why should I go watch it if it's trash?
Because
you know what movie I'm looking forward to?
You need to see it for yourself. What?
The new Mortal Kombat movie. Now I'm gonna be watching that movie.
Because the old Mortal Kombat movies were trash.
But it wasn't horrible. It wasn't horrible. Horrible.
Now, but you gave that trash a chance. This is all we're asking you to do with Coming to America. Okay. So let's move on to we talked about the Cavs, but there was a trade deadline here in the NBA.
Yes.
So a lot of moves were made. People are not wearing the same jerseys that they were wearing before the weekend started. And one move I thought was interesting was the Miami Heat acquiring Oladipo from the Rockets. And I know Oladipo was like, hallelujah. Because I know the Cavs are not good, but the Rockets.
Yeah, terrible.
Houston, you really have a problem. Didn't they just have like a 20-game losing streak?
And that's kind of my thing with the Oladipo trade, because, I mean, I know Oladipo has some good years in Indiana. I'm not questioning that. And there was a season where he, pressed the Cavaliers in the playoffs and whatnot, and he did his thing. But he was also just a part of a team that lost 20 games in a row. So, I mean, what are we really celebrating here in Miami?
I mean, you know what? It sucks to be John Wall. You know what I'm saying? You've been nice all your life at all levels of your your career. You get to the NBA, you're stuck on the Wizards. They're trash.
Yeah.
You have these injuries. Then you finally get back healthy and they ship you off to the Rockets. And then James Harden is like, you know what? This team sucks. I don't want to be here anymore. Now you have this pride thing because as an individual player, like you, neither one of us would want to see John Wall in a pickup game at any gym anywhere in America. Not. None of us would.
John Wall is nasty on that court still.
But he's not enough. He's not special enough to lift the team to be in a playoff contender. And that's just been the one thing about him. And there's other players that have been nice, like Lou Williams, who is no longer with the Los Angeles Clippers.
But I think they upgraded. You give me, if I can pick between Lou Will and Rajon Rondo and the playoffs have started, give me playoff Rondo 100% of the time. I know Lou Williams has 1 million Sixth Man of the Year awards. He ain't got 1 million playoff victories. He ain't got no NBA championship. Rondo, albeit, 10 years ago, was the point guard on the team that won an NBA championship. But he also contributed to that Los Angeles Lakers team last year that won an NBA championship in the playoffs. So I think that the Clippers really elevated their playoff positioning or their playoff ability with that move. And I don't know, man. I'm ready for the playoffs in the NBA right now.
Okay. Well, the Cavs made a trade. We no longer have to see JaVale McGee running around in the Cavs uniform.
Yeah.
And Corey Brooks has a question about the Cavs owner. He says, Philadelphia 76ers team governor was a billionaire at 30 years old. So do you think Dan Gilbert, 23-year-old son, will govern the Cavs to success? Is this the one? Is this the son? This isn't the son that helped get all those picks.
Move on. No.
Who is the son he's talking about? These are your peoples, man.
It has to be another son, man. And I'm
not. Is there a son?
Get tripped up right now. It has to be. Listen, I don't know for sure, but I'm going to imagine that it's not, and I would like to move on.
Okay, I'm sorry, Corey. You heard Matt. He said we're moving on.
No. We can talk about this. I don't listen. If Dan Gilbert's son, because the story is Dan Gilbert had a stroke. What is it? I think in 2019, and we haven't seen him. He hasn't really made many public appearances, if any at all, in representation of the Cavs in the last couple of years. So the story this week was that his 23-year-old son is the one running the team right now. What you're saying or questioning is whether or not it was the same son that was a part of the draft picks, correct?
That was a long time ago, or was it long enough ago for him to be 23 years old? He was pretty young when that happened.
I don't know. I don't know. But either way, hopefully he does a great job.
Well, we remember what happened when a team was passed to a son in another sport in this city. You know what I'm saying? So the father was passionate about the team, but is the son really? I think in this case,
so it's two different ones. Just real quick, Nick Gilbert is the one that you're thinking about to help us with the draft years.
And how old is he now?
It says he's 24.
Nick Gilbert
says he's 24. But Grant Gilbert is the one that's going to be that's governing the Cavs currently, and he's 23.
Okay, well, I guess the other one is a mascot or something. They always just had him at the draft for good luck. Back when we were in the lottery, and they used to always have him. But Rondo to the Los Angeles Clippers, yes, I think obviously Rondo. We know what he's been a championship caliber point guard for the majority of his career. He's won championships. So but Lou Williams is nice. That's the whole thing. Him,
for sure.
John Wall. These are dudes you don't want to see at LA Fitness and a pickup game.
He can get his wings now whenever he wants, right? Isn't that where he got in trouble at the strip club in the bubble?
Oh my God.
But now he lives in Atlanta, so he can just go. He can go get his Lou Williams wings whenever he wants. Listen, how's your bracket doing, Haz? Your bracket still intact, bro?
I never told you I did a bracket.
You didn't do one? I just assumed that you did, bro.
No, I asked you if you did one. I didn't do one.
Oh, okay.
So my bracket is perfect. You know what I'm saying? I actually filled in my bracket as it was going along. So it's perfect right now. You know what I'm saying? There's some games happening right this minute as we speak for this chance to go to the Elite Eight. It was Sweet 16 weekend. Surprisingly, Oral Roberts was still hanging around. Did you see any of the action this weekend, Matty?
Just I saw some highlights.
Oh Lord. Well, I caught even in my travels. I'm hanging out in the ATL over the weekend, and I still managed to at least catch the second half of Oral Roberts, Arkansas, which was a very exciting game. It came down. It's a 72-70 was the final score. We're talking if Oral Roberts makes history if they win that game, and I found myself rooting for the
For
underdog
sure.
Oral Roberts to be the first 15th seed to ever make an Elite Eight in the history of the NCAA tournament. They were right there, and I wanted to witness that. I wanted to say I saw that happen. I witnessed it, but Arkansas ruined it for us. The Razorbacks won it. They are the number 3 seed, and they're moving on to the Elite Eight. Anybody piquing your interest? Michigan is still in it. Do you like them?
I'm rooting for the tournament. I'm rooting for
What does
quality games.
What the hell does that mean?
Bro, I told you last week. I think that March Madness and this whole thing is just it's just not my favorite sport to root.
Shout out to Seti Ryan.
Yes. From the Philippines.
I was going to try and say that. Madugas? Is that Madugas?
That's pretty
Watching
good,
from the Philippines? Did I say?
Appreciate you.
I don't know if I said that right, but
Matugas.
And back just so Ozzy didn't get their comment in about you not watching Coming to America. Ozzy has watched it many times and says it's not trash. So will you take the advice of Ozzy and check it out at least once?
Yes, and I will definitely watch it before our next show next Sunday. 100%. Ozzy,
you have a homework assignment. You have a homework assignment now.
I do.
Okay, so Syracuse, who was the number 11 seed, so many of these lower seeded teams made it to the Sweet 16 this year, but they didn't make it to the Elite Eight. So Syracuse is out of there. There's one Cinderella team left that is going and moving on to the Elite Eight, and that would be Oregon State. The Cowboys. They are on their way to the Elite Eight, defeating Sister Jean and them, Loyola, Illinois. You know they had to get a shot of Sister Jean. That's amazing that Sister Jean is still around and attending these games. You know, it's reminiscent of when they used to bring Muhammad Ali around still, you know, when he really wasn't functioning well, but they'll still prop him up somewhere. It started to get uncomfortable after a while, but you know, you want to think of Ali.
Gonzaga is the team that's been running the table so far, right?
Gonzaga, I mean, Vegas certainly thinks so. I mean,
I'm asking you. Yeah, I'm asking you. Do you think that they're gonna run the table and complete it?
You know what? I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say that they run into. You know, as I'm watching this tournament unfold, I mean, Gonzaga's been rolling, but they are a number 1 seed, so they're playing lower seeded teams, so they're handling their business. You know what I'm saying? And then the fact that there were some upsets and they weren't playing the higher caliber teams, which made it even easier for a team like Gonzaga. So Gonzaga being number 1 ranked and the most favored team to win the entire tournament, they're handling their business. But Baylor is good, man. I think you should watch out for Baylor. You know what I'm saying? Houston rolled Syracuse with Boeheim and his son, Buddy Boeheim. They weren't enough. Buddy Boeheim didn't have a good game that day. But I noticed that his coach, his dad, he didn't pull him out the game when he shot an air ball 3. But no, because right before that happened, and I don't know the player's name, but I know his number 0. I mean, it wasn't 2 minutes into the game, man. The guy, he pulls a 3 early in the shot clock. Bad shot, selection, and he missed. Immediately, he was out the game getting talked to by the coach, Boeheim. Then I saw his son pull what I thought was an ill-advised 3 a couple times. That he wasn't pulling his son out the game when he was blowing 3s early on. His son didn't have a good shooting night after he's been balling throughout the tournament, averaging like 25 to 30 a game. And then he didn't show up Saturday night, and they lost to Houston.
Look, my kid can go 0 for 10 from 3, and he's going to keep plugging away, okay? We're going to leave him out there and let him do what he do.
You're a terrible coach.
So the last time we had an NCAA team go undefeated throughout the regular season and the NCAA tournament. Do you know, Haz? Do you know when that was?
No.
75-76 with the Indiana Hoosiers led by Bobby Knight.
Wow.
And this year, of course, though, with COVID and they're not a complete regular season, I think there's a little asterisk. If they do go, if talking about Gonzaga, if they do go undefeated throughout, are we going to put a little asterisk next to that, or are we just going to let that roll?
We have to let it roll.
Really?
They played the games.
I get it.
I mean, with the tournament, with the parity that's happened in the tournament, you like, hey, was COVID? I even said that COVID kind of leveled the playing field a little bit, here, because the main teams that you normally would see, either they weren't in it or they got eliminated early. You know what I mean? So, but Gonzaga is holding true. They've been good for a long time. They've always been a top team, and they haven't fallen off. So I mean, they're destroying these teams, man. 83-65.
No, they're balling.
I mean, yeah. So I don't really see. I don't know. Michigan handled Florida State pretty good. They're 76-58 today. So Alabama looking like well, they're down right now, 40-29 to UCLA, and the last game is Oregon and USC. We'll see what happens with that, but I mean, they look like they're gonna handle their business, man. So who am I to say that Vegas is wrong? And these other teams, a lot of them aren't even supposed to be here. UCLA is not supposed to be here. You know what I mean? They're not supposed to be here right now. So Gonzaga does look like the favorite to me. I don't know. Maybe Michigan or Baylor is my only other choices I think could maybe upset them, possibly.
All right.
You have nothing to say. You have nothing to say.
This is what I say about college football and basketball. I just want, NBA 2K to start making more college football and basketball games. That's what I would say.
And that's why. You're a grown ass man. You need video games to help you get interested.
You don't play video games at all?
No, sometimes.
You never played NCAA football back in the day?
Nah, I never liked the college one. You know why?
Come on, man.
Because it was too many teams, too many trying to. I don't know who's on this squad or that squad. You know what I mean? I'm talking about for video game purposes. Like, with the NFL, it's easier. It's like I want to use Michael Vick, so I choose the Atlanta Falcons. Or you know what I mean? Like I want to use Barry Sanders or somebody like that. So yeah,
man, I'm just doing my best that I can do during March Madness, man. Once we get through this, I'll be better for you. I promise. I'm doing the best I can during March Madness.
And that's nothing, obviously. You're not watching games. You're not pulling up a scoreboard.
I try to watch them, man. I try. I promise.
Those games are exciting. That old Roberts 72-70.
Yeah, Ozzy plays Fortnite. He says I'm 14. So that doesn't help my case. That doesn't help my case. Hey,
come on, man.
Hey,
no,
listen,
you know what video game I do
play?
I play Mortal.
Whole show about video.
You brought up
games.
the one video game I do play is the movie you brought up. I do play.
Yeah.
That. So yeah, I like those type of games. I don't like all these games that you nowadays.
Yeah. Mortal Kombat. All right. Well, that I could we were kind of getting some foreshadowing there because he was getting a little choppy. I will say that I do love video games. I do not want to do the out without my dog DJ HazMatt, so I'm gonna try to stretch this out until he hops back on. I will say this though: the Cavaliers doing the best they can. They probably won't make the playoffs, but with the NBA's new addition in terms of how teams actually they have a playoff game up until the 10th seed this season, so there is a chance that we could sneak in there. As I see Haz kind of creep through the back door, so we'll get him back on here. What's up, bro? You straight?
Yeah, I just got back. My stuff is acting weird.
It's all good.
Literally came from the airport to come do this show.
So you was kicking it with Tyler Perry and them down there in ATL, man. I'm not mad, man. You the plug now.
Hey, listen, man. I'm not the plug. AC is always the plug. Don't ever disrespect her name.
Facts. That is extremely factual.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. I was talking Mortal Kombat and got cut off. But that's it. I mean, I can't play the sports games no more. My hand-eye coordination. I wear glasses now. I can do Mortal Kombat though. I whoop your ass. You try to play me as a Mortal Kombat. What happened I don't know, Ozzy, but I'm back. So let's focus on. Let's move forward. I dropped out, technology,
It
internet.
happens. It's
It happens,
2021.
you know what I'm saying? But we was getting ready to get out of here anyway. We only like to hang out with y'all. We do love to hang out with y'all, but not all night, you know what I'm saying? I got other things to do. No,
He got to
I'm
unpack
just,
his bags.
yeah, I just got home.
I'm gonna just keep it real. My one homie Sean, who I went to high school with, Cleveland Heights High School. Shout out to them Heights Tigers. He's in town, so I was out with them. I'm actually about to go back out with them for like just to finish my drink.
You allowed to do that?
And and then we'll be back with you all a week from today.
Watch something, anything.
I will.
Matt.
No. I'm gonna watch Coming to America. Who's our dude? Ozzy, I got you, bro. I promise you.
Watch Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Snowfall.
That's a series, right?
Yes.
I'm watching. I don't know. We won't get into that right now. We'll talk about that next.
Oh my God, what are you be doing, man?
I got you.
You can't detach from the world like this, Matty.
I got you, bro. I got you.
All right. Well, we appreciate everybody, Mystery Todd, Ozzy, Corey, and everybody that chimed in. We appreciate y'all. Just make sure you join us every week, Matt and Matt Sports, right here at 8:00. Till next time, I'm DJ HazMatt.
Yeah, and I'm Matty Willz. Go NCAA tournament.
You ain't.